value on eligible tires. Plus, save $100 on a service purchase of $400 or more. Sears, where better happens.
You hear me, Jonathan?
Yep, you sound good.
Great, hang on.
For details.
With a Sam's Club membership, you get incredible savings every time you shop. And starting at 7 a.m. on Black Friday, members can save on the hottest gifts, like Vizio TVs, Samsung smartphones, KitchenAid mixers, and stunning diamond jewelry. Not a member yet? Join Sam's Club November 29th through December 1st and receive a gift card up to $40 to make the most of your Black Friday shopping. So join and save. Sam's Club. Holidays are better when you're in the club. See club for details.
The following conversation will be heard in many homes this week. Honey, want to go to Kohl's starting at 8 p.m. Thursday for exclusive in-store only specials, like a 32-inch TV for $139.99, diamond earrings for $89.99, or Xbox 360 for $139.99 while supplies last? Okay, why did I eat so much pie? Shop Kohl's Black Friday starting 8 p.m. Thursday.
Store hours may vary by location. See store or Kohl's.com for details. Quantities limited. Limit 1 per customer. Some discounts may not apply. No rate checks.
Hi, I'm Sissy Biggers, and I'm here at holiday time to make sure your entertaining is easy, creative, and delicious. It's important to make sure you have quality cookware, starting with Calphalon's newly redesigned contemporary non-stick cookware. That means it's got an easy release surface, so your mashed potatoes go from the pot onto the plate with ease, and of course, it's simple cleanup and your dishwasher safe. The trend is for small bites and a variety of choices in desserts. And how great and easy are these thanks to Ghirardelli's dark and white melting wafers. Airtight plastic containers is a must when you send your guest home with leftovers. Look for those products made with recycled plastics. It means you're leaving a lighter environmental footprint. The Smithfield Spiral Sliced Ham. It's the centerpiece of any buffet.
All right, Jonathan, we're on in 10 seconds.
Excellent.
The oven and glazed, and out it comes, easy to go, and of course easy to serve with the pre-cut slices.
We now return to the Peter Schiff Show. Call in now. 855-4-SCHIFF. That's 855-472-4433. The Peter Schiff Show.
Joining our program now is Jonathan Bailor, and he is a preeminent nutritionist and exercise expert, former personal trainer. He specializes in using high-quality food and exercise to simplify health and fitness. He has registered over 25 patents. He's also authored the book, The Calorie Myth, How to Eat More, Exercise Less, Lose Weight, and Live Better. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Peter, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Now, according to your thesis, pretty much everything the government tells us about nutrition is wrong. And, that makes sense to me because I know as an economist that everything they tell us about economics is wrong. The government is pretty much wrong about everything. So I don't know why nutrition would be the exception to the rule. But tell me, what are the biggest myths out there that the government is perpetuating with respect to nutrition and weight loss?
Peter, you're spot on that politicians playing physicians and bureaucrats playing biologists leads to a big fat mess, and that's exactly what we find ourselves in today. The biggest myth we find ourselves with is the idea that the human body works like a simple mathematical equation, that if we just reduce our calories in by a certain amount, that we'll predictably lose weight, and that we just need to try harder to eat less and exercise more. That simply doesn't work. The calorie math doesn't add up, and science unequivocally proves this. We simply haven't been told about it.
Yeah, and I know, and I get your take, but I know from experience that I decided to lose some weight earlier in the year, and I mentioned I was going on a diet on this show, and I dropped about 30 pounds in maybe 4 months, and I didn't watch my calories at all. I ate like a pig, and I didn't exercise anymore during that period of time. All I did is change the type of food that I was eating, and so I didn't eat less. I just ate differently, and the pounds just went away.
Exactly, Peter. It's not that the body wants to burn fat. It's just that we're eating too much. It's the quality of food we're eating is training our body to store more fat regardless of the quantity of calories we're eating. That's why we have millions and millions of citizens who are literally starving themselves, eating 12 to 1,400 calories per day. This is the number of calories that is used clinically in starvation studies to simulate starvation while exercising for hours and still not burning fat. It's that there's something deeper going on with their metabolism, which is caused by the improper quality of food, not an excess quantity of food.
So what are Americans eating that they shouldn't be eating, and what should they be eating if they want to be healthy and they want to stay trim or lose weight?
Upwards of 60% of the average American's calories come from non-food, or what I like to call edible products. These are things you do not find in nature. They are things which, when introduced into any culture all around the world, the same thing happens. People become obese, people become diabetic, rates of cancer, rates of heart disease, rates of cardiovascular disease all increase. These are the sugary, starchy, trans fat filled, convenience packaged nonsense, which we're told is fine for us as long as we keep our calorie count down. And that is why these calorie myths are so nefarious, because if you get people to think about calories and not to think about food, you can tell anyone to eat anything as long as they eat it in moderation. And Peter, that's just nonsense.
Yeah, that's why it's ridiculous when you have governments requiring fast food places, like McDonald's, to list the calories of their Big Macs, when the problem isn't the calories. It might be the other ingredients that go into making a hamburger.
Exactly. Calories are not our enemy. Hunger isn't healthy. We have to eat calories. That's fine, right? We need energy. So the idea of bastardizing calories and that we need to avoid food is wrong. Food has kept us healthy and fit for hundreds of thousands of years. It's non-food. Peter, think about the logic of just eat anything, but in moderation. That would be like saying, Peter, just drink anything. Like, just drink any liquid you find, just in moderation. Or just breathe in any gas. Any gas. Just don't breathe in too much of it. Not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, just find the liquids that are healthy and drink as much as you want, and it's not going to harm you. And avoid the ones that are toxic. Even if you have the toxicity in a small quantity, it's still bad.
Exactly. Smoking fewer cigarettes isn't good for you, right? It's not about smoking in moderation. It's smoking causes lung cancer. So to the extent that you can avoid cigarette smoke, you will not get lung cancer. It doesn't mean you can't breathe. In fact, you should breathe a lot of air, but you don't have to breathe in low quality tobacco smoke filled air. Similar with food, eating an abundance of food, foods you find in nature like non-starchy vegetables, vegetables you could eat raw, vegetables you often find in salads, nutrient dense proteins, think seafood, and lean and healthy grass-fed meats. Think low fructose fruits like berries and citrus, and whole food fats like nuts and seeds. Eating an abundance of these foods nourishes the body and enables your body to do what it's done for the entirety of human history up until the previous 3 generations, which is keep us slim and diabetic free without anyone even knowing what a calorie was, let alone counting them.
Is what you're advocating, is it the paleo diet, the caveman diet, something similar to those?
The research I've been conducting over the past decade is in line with approaches to eating which say eat things that are found in nature. Now, there are many eating approaches that are high on that list. So, for example, vegans or vegetarians. To the extent that you're a vegan or vegetarian who prizes eating whole foods found directly in nature, that's in line with my research. To the extent that you are Paleolithic or ancestral, and again, focus on eating things found directly in nature. I define food, Peter, as something you can find directly in nature. So to the extent that you're getting the vast majority of whole plants and nutritious non-toxic animals, whatever we want to call that, I like to call it the common sense diet, or the what everybody did before we had all these problems diet, and it seems to make sense to me.
Yeah, and because if you look at the breakfast, if you look at what most people have been told to eat for breakfast, you can't have fat, don't have bacon and eggs, eat these cereals. that kids are eating all kinds of sugary, it's almost like candy in a box, like little chocolate donuts or whatever they are. But people eat bowls and bowls of this cereal in the morning instead of having nutrition because they're afraid of the fat.
Exactly. And these cereals are non-food, right? They're not food. There is no such thing as a Cheerios tree in nature. They're marketed to us as natural, and they're marketed to us as vitamin enriched. Peter, if you take a can of cola and you dissolve a vitamin pill in it, it is not healthy, right? Putting a vitamin pill on top of a candy bar doesn't make the candy bar healthy. So what these cereal manufacturers do is they take toxic substances which have been proven to correlate with the incidence of diabetes as strong as cigarette smoking correlates with the incidence of lung cancer, and they say that, well, we put a vitamin pill in it and we have some whole grains in it, therefore you should feed it to your kids, and then we end up with a world that has 40 million children under the age of 5 who are overweight. And
we might as well, by the same logic, right? By the same logic, we could put vitamins in cigarettes, or maybe make cigarettes that taste like bubble gum, so that they, or candy, so that they're more, they taste better for kids, right? And say, look, there's just some good stuff in here, so just smoke this cigarette.
Exactly. Putting a little bit of vitamin C on a cigarette does not make the cigarette less damaging. If you're taking in a breakfast that contains 30 grams of sugar plus, which is incredibly easy with these toaster pastries and these sweetened cereals, you're basically drinking a can of soda or 2 for breakfast every single day and taking a vitamin pill. That will lead you won't get scurvy or rickets because you've got some vitamins, but you will become overweight and diabetic, and you won't understand why because you're just doing what you've been told.
But meanwhile, if people just eat good, healthy foods, they're going to get all those vitamins anyway. I mean, those vitamins exist naturally. And, of course, you could just take a vitamin directly. You don't have to have all the bad stuff. If you don't have enough of a particular vitamin, just take a vitamin. You don't have to have all the other stuff with it.
Exactly. If something needs to be enriched, that's a good sign that you shouldn't eat it in the first place, because what the heck happened to it that caused it to needed to be enriched, right? Like what was stripped out of it, what was removed. The more we can get back to eating the foods that kept us slim and healthy without anyone trying. Like nobody exercised at gyms, nobody knew what calories were. They just ate whole natural foods, and the body took care of itself. And that's what it's supposed to do. Our bodies aren't broken by default. They don't want to be diabetic or obese any more than they want to have cancer. Survival is built into our genes, but we can break our genes when we eat non-food. Just like if you put kerosene in your car's gas tank.
If there's any skeletal evidence that people could take a look at early man and see if any of us were obese, or is there obesity among chimpanzees? I mean, because they're pretty close genetically to humans. Are there any obese chimps?
Peter, it's a fabulous point, and the incidence of obesity in nature is non-existent. In fact, up until recently, when they tried to make rats obese for clinical study, they couldn't. They would pump extra calories into rats' stomachs, and the rats would just naturally eat less. The only way, and they use this now as the standard of practice in clinical settings, the only way to consistently fatten animals is to feed them what's called the cafeteria diet, or the standard American diet full of processed starches, sweets, and non-foods. If you feed them what they are naturally eating, they literally cannot become chronically obese.
That's interesting. I mean, humans are if we're the only species on the planet that becomes fat, there's got to be a reason for it, because we evolved on this planet just like everything else. And if there are natural food sources that our bodies genetically evolved to eat, then eating those wouldn't make us fat, because our ancestors, if they were cavemen that got fat eating what they were supposed to eat, they probably would have been too slow. They would have died out. They wouldn't have had as many children. Natural selection would have gotten rid of them a long time ago. So the humans that survived and thrived during that time period must have been able to eat large quantities of whatever food that we were able to hunt and gather. And obviously, if we continue eating that food, we should be healthy. What I want to ask you, though, after the break is, given a lot of evidence as to, what it really takes to be healthy and slim, Why do you think the government doesn't have a campaign? Why is it Michelle Obama, as part of her health kick, why is it all about dieting? What about just changing what we eat? Why is the government not getting behind a sensible, healthy diet instead of advocating a lot of what you're talking about really being nutritional nonsense? So I want to get your take on why you think that's happening, and if there's any way of changing that. We got a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right, Jonathan, this will be a 5-minute break. Can you hang on for us?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. Get the butter drawn. Yeah, Sean, till the break of dawn. People even say that anymore? Well, whatever. It's my song. Rocking down the Audubon. Rocking out another song. Curtis Sophie, lucky nice. I could go on and on. Lucky like a leprechaun with the gold and a rainbow. If you sad, I say, just let the thing go. You know what?
Oh, what?
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. Call General Steel now, because you won't find better quality in a pre-engineered steel building. And we're offering rebates up to $20,000 to help you build today. A pre-engineered steel building from General Steel can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And the rebate of up to $20,000 is money that can go right to your bottom line. General Steel, your best option to build, and we will not be undersold. You could spend thousands more than you should on a new building, but you won't beat the quality of General Steel. So if you're thinking about building, call General Steel right now for free information that could save you thousands. Call
800-617-4950. 800-617-4950. Learn how to save even more with rebates up to $20,000. That's 800-617-4950.
Guys, you've heard about Ageless Male, the natural supplement that helps boost testosterone levels within normal, healthy ranges. But now, the best testosterone product is even better. New and improved Ageless Male can help you feel more like you used to in your active life and in your romantic life. Because our upgraded formula has been clinically shown to increase your drive, desire, and performance. That's right, guys. Ageless Male has been clinically shown to boost performance. Cancel your plans this weekend. You're staying in. If you're ready to recapture the drive from your youth, now is the time to try Ageless Male, because it's available risk-free. But you must call now. Just call 1-800-508-9820. Be the guy you used to be. Just call 1-800-508-9820. 1-800-508-9820. 1-800-508-9820.
The holiday entertaining season is here, and between shopping for gifts to preparing meals, who has time to worry about the dishes? When hosting your next dinner party or family gathering, try this simple solution to avoid serving guests spotty or cloudy dishes, a major entertaining faux pas. Use OxiClean Dishwashing Booster to ensure dishes come out of the dishwasher sparkling clean the first time. It will save you the hassle of rewashing by hand or running extra loads. OxiClean Dishwashing Booster's unique formula dissolves cloudy film that can build up during the rinse cycle. It also boosts the cleaning performance of your dishwasher detergent to eliminate spots and streaks that detergent alone can leave behind. And with just one wash, OxiClean Dishwashing Booster keeps dishware crystal clear. This holiday season, worry less about the dishes and spend more time enjoying the party. For more information, visit OxiClean.com.
Remember that thing you spent hours waiting in line for last Black Friday? That thing that's probably still in the box? That thing that in no way rocked your world? Well, not this year. Get down to Guitar Center this Black Friday for insane deals on the most awesome music gear known to man. Like a soprano ukulele for just $25. And a kick-ass Yamaha portable keyboard for just $69. Get these and many more deals this weekend only at Guitar Center's Black Friday sale. Doors open at 6 a.m.
I need a data backup solution for my business to replace my current tape backup device. Do you want to spend a lot of money? No. Do you want to store and pay for replicated data? No. How about a solution that's difficult to install and use? No. Offshore or automated phone tree support okay? No. Then yes, we can help.
Barracuda Backup. End-to-end protection for physical and virtual servers, including data deduplication to significantly reduce storage requirements, and replicated cloud storage for assured recovery, and live humans to answer your call. Try Barracuda Backup free. Go to barracuda.com/yes.
Holiday celebrations are filled with food, family, and fun, which often go hand in hand with spills, spots, and stains. Fortunately, Arm & Hammer Ultra Power 4X laundry detergent takes the stress out of holiday gatherings. It's packed with powerful stain fighters and 2 scoops of baking soda, which deliver 50% whiter and fresher clothes than the leading value brand. The ultra-concentrated liquid formula of Ultra Power 4X is packaged in an easy...
All right, Jonathan, we're back in 30 seconds.
Great.
Thanks for hanging on.
choice. Compared to 2X concentrated detergents, the 4X formula contains less water, so you get tough cleaning power from a smaller bottle that washes a lot of loads. This season, enjoy the festivities and worry less about your post-party cleanup. Arm & Hammer Ultra Power 4X will help you power through tough holiday stains. Learn more at armandhammer.com.
You've heard of Karl Marx, right? Well, now, meet his worst nightmare. This is the Leadership Show.
We are talking with nutritionist Jonathan Bailor, who's also author of the book The Calorie Myth: How to Eat More, Exercise Less, Lose Weight, and Live Better. Hey, John, are you actually advocating, though, that people exercise less? Should we make a conscious effort not to exercise, or are you just saying you don't need to exercise to lose weight?
We shouldn't exercise the way we've been taught to exercise, but the way we've been taught to exercise, aka jog on pavement while inhaling car exhaust, actually causes cravings for the exact substances which cause obesity. What we should do is exercise less but smarter, aka with more resistance, and of course be active. Walk around, take the stairs, play with your kids, but that isn't exercise. That's just being a person. So it's about being a person, being active, and doing less but smarter exercise.
Yeah, so it's just this sedentary lifestyle that a lot of Americans have, and compounding that with a really bad diet, because obviously humans weren't meant to sit around on the couch and just watch television, because that's not what our ancestors were doing all day. But the question I wanted to pose to you is, all right, given that there's a lot of anecdotal evidence and it intuitively makes sense, what you're saying, and I certainly prove it myself. I'm sure there's a lot of people. I mean, I was surprised at how easy it was to lose weight and how quickly I lost weight just by avoiding some of the foods that I had just routinely been eating, and just making a conscious effort to eat different types of food. Again, not eating any less, not being hungry, just having different food on my plate. What's stopping the government? What's stopping Michelle Obama from really bringing this message to the public, in a bigger way?
The government, and specifically the arm of the government that gives us the food guide, pyramid, and my plate, is the United States Department of Agriculture. It's not the United States Department of avoiding obesity and diabetes prevention, right? They're responsible for a productive and profitable agriculture industry. Want to create the most profitable agriculture industry available? Convince people that calories are all that matter, then mix together the most cheapest, most shelf-stable corn and wheat and soy with a bunch of shelf-stable chemicals and shrink the serving size until you can call it low calorie. And now we've got 100-calorie snack packs that are supposedly healthy, and we've got a sick, dying population, but we have a hugely profitable agriculture industrial complex.
Yeah, people think it's like a mathematical equation that calories equal weight, right? The more calories you eat, the fatter you get. And so they just need to gravitate to these low-calorie meals, or even sometimes low-fat meals. And if they just have something that says low-fat, low-calorie, well, then they can eat it.
And that is absolutely false. Just very quickly, the most recent data shows that the average American male is consuming about 3,700 calories per day. And researchers estimate that the average American male should consume about 2,700 calories per day. If that data is true, which by all estimates it is, we're over-consuming 1,000 calories per day. If there's 3,500 calories in a pound of fat, that means we should be gaining 2 pounds of fat every single week, or 104 pounds of fat per year. We're obviously not. Calorie math doesn't add up. Using calories is like using eye color to judge intelligence. Like, it's just not the right barometer.
Yeah. Now, hey, we're all going to be having Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. In fact, some of us I got a Hanukkah dinner coming up the following day. So we got Hanukkah now right around Passover. So I'm going to have a lot of food in front of me, and I know people listening to the show are going to be, eating a lot of food. So if we want to have a healthy Thanksgiving, but we want to eat. We don't want to go hungry. So think about a typical Thanksgiving meal. What can we have seconds of, and what do we need to avoid?
Peter, the great news is the key to long-term health and fitness is eating a lot of food so that you're too full for edible products that are garbage. So double up on your turkey, double up on your ham, double up on your non-starchy vegetable sides. So this doesn't include corn, this doesn't include potatoes. Again, think green leafy vegetables, asparagus, broccoli, all that, green beans. Double up on your protein, triple up on your non-starchy vegetables, and then feel free to enjoy whole food fats. So avocados, nuts, seeds, and even the lower sugar fruits like berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, and citrus fruits like oranges. Eat more of that stuff so that you're too full for diabetes-causing starches and sweets.
Do we have to avoid the stuffing? Because the stuffing is always quite good.
Well, you don't really have to avoid it when you eat so much of everything else that you're just too full to fit it in. I like to tell people to full themselves into slimness.
Sweet potato pies, can we eat those?
If it has sugar added to it, you'd be best off avoiding it. The good news is you can make a delicious sweet potato pie with a natural non-caloric sweetener, such as a xylitol or an erythritol, and just make the crust with coconut flour or almond flour, and you'll be good to go.
But because sweet potatoes, they don't even need, they're sweet enough as it is, but those are the things, you can eat sweet potatoes. They're different, right, than a baked potato.
Sweet potatoes are definitely more nutrient dense than a baked potato, and what you'll find is it's very difficult to overeat them unless you put a bunch of sugar and other processed garbage on top of them, because those override your natural satiety signals in your brain.
Yeah, what about the Jell-O molds? Can we eat those?
Well, unless you could find a Jell-O mold or Jell-O mix directly in nature, I'd steer away from them.
Any desserts, though? Any desserts that, if we're going to have some dessert, what's the least bad one to have?
You can have any number of desserts. The question is just, instead of using, for example, wheat flour, use a coconut flour, use an almond flour. Instead of using sugar or honey, use a xylitol or an erythritol. On our website, caloriemythbook.com, we have hundreds of dessert recipes.
That's assuming you cooked the dessert yourself. A lot of people are just going to have somebody else's, going to sit at somebody else's dinner, so then you have to just pick. But hey, thanks for coming on, because we're out of time for the segment. I really appreciate you having you as a guest. Again, the name of the book, How to Eat More, Exercise Less, Lose Weight, and Live Better. Hour 2 of the Peter Schiff Show is up next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Cool. Thanks, Peter. Bye-bye.
Have a good holiday.